I want to find a data science full-time remote job with 10,000 per $10,000 per month. Yeah, it searched. Okay, here are some jobs. Generate a resume for these jobs, please. And here we go. So this is one data science and AI specialist with a master's degree in science, bachelor's degree with strong foundation in Python. I think that's really good. So you have also the option to change it, to play with it. So this is really useful. I mean, hi everyone, welcome to the channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit special because I'm going to build something that is beyond my native expertise, which is basically building front-end applications. So if you're like me, just a little background of myself, I hold a master's degree in artificial intelligence and data science. I've been building AI agents for the last couple of years, and I've never actually built anything with front-end frameworks. I'm a little bit noob on that. Also, just a little background, if you were building some applications with like Python, or basically you're specialized in the AI part of it, you probably face the same problem that I faced. So whenever I have a client and I want to build something to my client, I struggle with delivering it to them. So how I'm gonna deploy the assistant or the AI agent I've built, and how I'm gonna show it to them, how I'm gonna show the results to them, and how I'm gonna let them, for example, interact with it and test it. So I would basically build a prototype with Streamlit, which is a Python library that enables you to build front-end prototypes just using Python. And I would basically deploy it on something simple like AWS or something like that, and I would just send them the link and I will let them interact with it on the Streamlit. However, like Streamlit has its own limitations. It's only for prototyping, and it's a little bit difficult to build like an end-to-end application with it. If you want to build like something really useful, if you want to increase the capabilities of your application, it's going to be difficult doing that just with Streamlit. You're going to end up like doing a lot of hacks to make it work and spend a lot of time on it. And at the end of the day, it's not the native front-end framework because it's like built on top of Python. That's why recently I've been trying to switch to front end. So, but however, in my recent projects, I didn't actually need to create a UI for my assistants or agents. I've been just like collaborating with my clients' front end teams and helping them like to integrate this like AI agent that I create with their existing application. So today I'm gonna build like a full stack AI software as a service using just like my experience in building AI agents with zero knowledge of front end. So you're asking yourself, how are you going to build like this end-to-end application like with zero knowledge of front end? So here comes the answer, and here's our video is like featuring V0, which is basically the tool that helps you create and render AI components in real time using just like natural language. So let's waste no time and let's get straight into it. So in today's video, as I told you, we're going to be building an end-to-end AI agent fully deployed on a front-end interface. And basically for the AI agent itself, what's going to be the idea? The AI agent will actually be used by people who are looking for jobs. So it's going to be like a job search system. So instead of you like scrolling the internet for jobs or like subscribing to the newsletters, this assistant is going to help you find your job that you're looking for. So what you're going to do is that you're going to log into this to this application. You're going to start talking to this assistant, and you're going to tell it what you're looking for, like what are the job preferences, and what is your field, the area of expertise, and show these jobs for you. Not only this, as a bonus, it's going to also create a resume for you that you can submit for this job. So it's basically a job search plus resume creation, all using just an AI assistant that recommends you jobs and helps you create resumes. Like the architecture is going to be something very simple. So for we have the user interacting with the primary assistant. The primary assistant is going to be using like a language model. It doesn't have to be like an OpenAI language model, but it's going to basically be the main node in our application, our LangGraph agent, and it's going to be interacting directly with the user. However, this is not sufficient just to use a language model. We need the tools that enable us to search for jobs and to create resume. So for job search, we're going to be using an API for searching jobs. These jobs will be returned to the primary assistant, which will then return this result to us. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that we need the resume generator. So once the assistant has enough information about the user preferences, about the jobs that they're looking for, they're gonna actually start generating the resume for them. And for that, at the end, they're gonna generate a PDF that is like ready to use. Just click download and then it will download it. So it's like a pretty useful tool. And as a bonus to this application, I'm actually gonna try to make it like as a paid service. So like to make it just like a full end-to-end SaaS version of it. And I'm gonna try to deploy it actually throughout this video. So let's see how much time it will take us, and let's see whether actually I'm going to be successful at doing this. So let's find out. For the interface, so this is basically the backend or the logic of the application. For the front end, it's going to be something like this, something very simple. So this is like a chat interface. Also, there is a login button. Here you have like suggestions for messages. Here it's going to be the interaction. And here's going to be like the sidebar for like the history of the messages or the jobs that the user searched. So for the backend part, we need LangGraph and Python. And for the front end part, we need the whatever framework V0 is going to suggest to us, which is probably going to be React with Next.js. And we're going to integrate this into our application. So that's what we need. We just need like LangGraph, V0, and probably we need some debugging with Claude. And yes, for the front end also, something very important that I didn't mention is that I'm not going to be trying to implement this from scratch because, the front end. So I tried to look the internet just like for a little bit shortcut for already built UI assistants that we can use in this video, and I found out about this like very exciting UI assistant UI. So what you can do here is you have like this, basically this UI ready to integrate into your application. So we're gonna start with this like template, and then we're gonna ask if we want to add anything. We're gonna ask V0 basically to add it for us. So because this is not going to be enough to integrate with our application, because we need to show people like jobs. We're not going to show them jobs as like just like text. We're going to show them the jobs as like UI components. So that's a very important point. Also at the end, we're going to like show them the PDF, for example, download the PDF. So we need some UI components that are like not natively supported by this interface. The first thing that we need to do is basically we need to create the LangGraph part. For this, basically, I'm going to just clone the repository. So git clone LangGraph example. It actually uses the React framework, as I explained in a recent video also, in that video. And the React framework, the main idea of it is that it implements basically this idea that we have a centralized agent or a primary assistant, and the primary assistant actually makes the decision whether to call another tool or whether just to return the response to the user. So in the execution time, it looks something like this. So you have the agent. Whenever the user asks a question, the agent will decide whether actually to continue using the tools or I got everything I need. Let's return the result back to the user. So this is how we're gonna be building the AI agent using this React framework. So here it's complaining about LangGraph. So I'm gonna be changing the GitHub, so the Conda version that is used by Visual Studio Code, that's recognized by Visual Studio Code, to the base, which is the one I'm using here. And I'm gonna basically start changing this. So first what we need, so we go to the nodes, we need the tool node to have the following tool. So here we have the internet search tool, which probably we do not actually need. So first let's create the first one, which is the job search API. To create the API tool, I'm going to be using, and to create also the resume generation tool, I'm going to be using the base tool class to create LangChain tools. So I'm going to just like copy paste this one, and I'm going to start edit it. So here we have basically our tool is called job search. Job search. Job search tool. So the name is job search, and it's enable helps users find jobs. So the schema is the input schema, which is important here. This depends on the API that we're using. In this video, I'm going to be using Drupal API for job search, and basically here's the documentation of the API. So this allows you to specify a wide range of query parameters. So we have the keywords to search for the job in the job listing, the location to search for jobs in, salary, the minimum salary of the job, the age, the maximum age of the job listing, which is basically like we do not want to return like very old jobs, and the page number of the job listing to return. Yeah, so here's an example for how to make this request query in JavaScript, but we're going to make it in Python. So let's see if they have Python. They do not have Python here, but I'm going to create it myself, no problem. So we need the API key. We need the so let's create it in the environment. So Jubel API key. Here's going to be our API key. The URL, which is like Jubel base URL. That's correct. I'm not going to be using the page number because I like we do not need it in this case. I'm gonna just return the all the results. And basically, so for the keywords to return, so keywords, which is field, actually we need to import it. Field, so we need keyword, and the keyword will be basically the keywords for the job listing, location, the location to search for the job, the salary, the minimum salary for the job, and the age of the job. We need now to run it. So for running it, actually what we need are the parameters that we just specified above, and here are like job search params, which is job search input as well, and run manager optional. So now we have implemented this part, and now we need actually to implement this part. So for this part, I'm gonna actually create also a tool the same way. So now we can create like a class resume generation tool, and I'm gonna also instantiate it, and I'm gonna also inherit from the base tool, and I'm gonna do the following, the same thing. So the name, resume generation, helps users to generate resumes. Job search input, no, the input is actually class resume generation input. So the input is going to be name of the person, which is field, the name of the person, email, what else are in the yeah, maybe phone. Let's just exclude the phone for now, and job preference, job or skills, which are basically the skills of the person. This actually will depend on the things that we need to include in the PDF, in the final version of the PDF. So to create the PDF itself, I'm going to be using a script that basically enable us to generate the PDF. So I'm going to add it here in the utils. So I'm going to create here actually also a utils file, and I'm going to paste the code for creating the PDF. And so let's test it together. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be testing the PDF generation. Copy relative path, Python. So I have actually got an error here. Let's check this error with Claude. And also let's basically start creating other fields for our for the resume generation module input. So here we need yeah, as you see, the email, the LinkedIn, maybe GitHub. Okay, for now we're not gonna include this. I want just to make it like as simple as possible, just like the professional summary. Exactly, professional summary. So I need this in the tool. So the skills, the also professional summary, the professional summary of the person to generate the resume for. And now we wanted to check the what Claude said about the PDF. So latex error, the last page is not installed. So sudo, so let's try to install it. We have some missing package last page that we're trying to install now. Okay, tell their local is older than the remote repository, cause update. So we need to update actually. Okay, let's just pass this here, and okay, you might need to update it, so let's just update it. So let's just execute these commands to update the latex. Sudo install. Here we need to update it. Update all. Okay, so now it's updating this TLMGR package that is needed to install the last page package. So now it's like being updated. And after that, we need to install the last page. So it's generated the resume for us here. And okay, it looks okay actually. Email, LinkedIn, professional summary, data science 5 years skills. Okay, it didn't render these for some reason. Work experience, education. Okay, so let's actually send it to Claude again. Please refine this. There are some rendering issues with text BF. I want the PDF to look neat. So I'm doing all this for you, like for the people who are creating the resume, so they do not need to do it. They will just like chat with it. They say, oh, create the resume for me, and it's going to be created, and they can just basically download it. So yeah. So now it's trying to refine the PDF file. Also, yeah, let's check it out now. Okay. Got a bunch of errors. Wow. This is PDF text version. LaTeX live 2000 preload PDF restricted right behavior entering mode. Let's try maybe with sudo something. So yeah, let's see what it said. So I need to install some libraries for this to work. So let's do that. Already present. So this should work. Okay, got this error. Let's just paste the error back. So let's see. Actually append for the issue. You can see this version much shorter. So we are a step closer. We still got errors. So let's also paste the errors back again. So this might take us like a couple of iterations to get this correctly. But the rendering now is better than before. So let's see. Again, got another error. Oh, but now the rendering is much better, as you can see here. So there is a link to the LinkedIn. Professional summary, work experience, data scientist, junior, education. I think we just need to remove this and just like make it a new line. So professional summary. Let's see. Professional summary, section title. Let's just make it section. Let's see if this change is gonna make it work. So professional summary. Okay. This I would say is very close to what we want. Let's actually check professional resume latex template. So maybe let's take this one. This one looks good, I believe. So this is the source, and now let's paste it here. Let's check it now. There's a lot of wrong things with it. So latex to PDF .py. Okay, so here I have actually the correct version. So this actually looks pretty neat. So what I did is actually I have taken this template, and basically I created a script to basically just convert this PDF to this LaTeX format into PDF, and here's what I got. It actually looks pretty good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually remove these, and I want to just add like education, experience, maybe like just an overview, education, experience, publications, projects, and technology. So this is basically the template that I'm gonna be using. So first thing is that we need to remove this like welcome to render CV and the quick guide. Let me just render it again, and here we go. So now we have education. I'm just gonna add a new one, which is basically just an overview. Yeah. I don't know if people include summary, but it's fine. Like for now, I'm gonna just skip it. I can change it later. And now we need, as I said, to make this modular, like to basically be able to I want to just now like create a function that takes the input, for example, the professional summary, the education, which is going to be also like a structured output by the model, experience. And now it's time to basically fill it with the data that we want. So the first step when you call the tool is going to try to generate the parameters of the tool. So the parameters of the tool in this case, the professional summary, location, probably like location, name, email. Okay, website we don't need, LinkedIn we don't need, GitHub we don't need it, so let's actually remove them. So okay, let's keep the email. Let's remove the which is basically the phone number. Let's also remove the website, LinkedIn and GitHub. So let's remove these, and let's try to create the resume again. So yeah, so only we need just the email for now. Even the location actually is not the like it's not a required parameter. So let's try to create it again. So just the email, and yeah, so I believe that's it. Location actually is not necessary because many people like now work remotely. Education, which is a list of universities. So let's make the class school, or let's call it literally education. So we have institution, degree, start date, end date, GPA, coursework. We don't need the coursework, we just need the institution, the degree, GPA, the coursework. Oh, actually, let's keep the coursework. Yeah, so that's the education, which is basically a list of education, list of education. So we covered the education. Now the experience. So here we have the experience, which is a list of class experience, which is a list of experience. So let's make it so we have the title, we have the company, we have the location, start date and end date, and the highlights of the experience. So here are the highlights of the experience, and so now this is a list of experience, and now after that we need the publications. Actually, I'm going to remove the publications because most people do not have this section. Maybe they can add it, but I'm going to make it like an optional section. But for simplicity, I'm actually just going to remove it altogether. So publications, so the sections of publications. Now let's just run it again. And now the projects and technologies. So projects, so let's make class project, and let's make the copilot basically suggest the input for it, which is the title, description, start date, end date, highlights. Actually, yeah, so the description and highlights. Instead of highlights, I'm gonna like add a link, which is also an optional. It's gonna be like link. I'm gonna make it like an optional link. And now here we have like projects, which is a list of projects, and basically the description, and last but not least, technologies. Actually, instead of technologies, make it broader for broader experience. Let's make it like skills, because actually I can make it like for software developers, which can be useful. But actually we can. So here we have actually like a business choice. Do we actually want to create resumes for software engineers, or just for broader range of resumes? So let's make like broader range of resumes. Let's call it just skills. So let's call it like here skills, list of skills. Yeah, I believe now we are good. So here at the beginning, to start, the resume the generation tool will basically generate the input, which should conform to this input, and after that this input will be passed further down to the script that we're gonna create to basically modularize the way of creating this, like of generating the LaTeX. So the way to do that, I'm gonna actually ask Claude to do that for me. So here I just start a new chat from this LaTeX file. Please create Python. That is a Python script that accepts the following input, and the input are going to be the generation input, the resume generation input, that accept resume generation object as input, and the output will be a modularized latex file based on the input. Here is the latex text file template. So now what we want is that we want basically to give this as a template, and basically to have a Python script that we give the resume generation input object as input to that script, and the output will be basically the latex file, and then we will run after that the latex to PDF to check this out. So now it's creating this Python script. It's trying to do that with Python solely. Okay, so now let's actually check this script, and the output will be the latex output file. So what is the latex output file? Generated resume.txt. Exactly, so that's what we want. So let's run this script. Yeah, it actually created it. So let's now try to generate the PDF for it, and let's check if it actually works. So instead of latex resume, I will do like generated resume here. And now let's try to convert it to PDF, latex to PDF. So yeah, it got some errors, but it actually looks fine. Personal website, JavaScript. Okay, what are the errors? Invalid PDF structure. Okay. Okay, so actually what I'm gonna do, instead of doing it with Python, because we got errors with this, we got lots of errors with this, I'm gonna ask it to actually just create the latex file. So instead of creating the latex with Python, generate txt file So yeah, I wanted, instead of like creating it with Python, I wanted to actually like just directly generate the string. However, I'm not sure if that's possible because there are a lot of stuff that needs to be changed. Therefore, I'm not sure. Let's see if that's possible. Go back here. Unit resume to text, and now let's check. So keyword article. So it's telling that like there is a key error article because it's trying to load article from somewhere. So I believe this is problematic. Okay, now this looks much better. University of example, September, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is okay, but I think the formatting is not quite there. So let's check it again. So for example, yeah, actually it screwed lots of formatting. So let's go back to the template that we have. Do not change the original template and style, please. Here is the original template. Yeah, actually this looks better. this looks much better. So this is the original one, this is the generated one. I believe the format is the same, more or less. Education exists, experience exists, projects version 7 exists, education, experience, projects, technologies. Okay, so to test this a little bit more, let's actually check, let's give some input. So for example, let's give my data. Yunus, let's say .yunus at example.com, and let's see if it actually adds my information here. So yeah, that was correct. It added correctly. The only thing now I want to change, that I'm like a little bit worried about, is the technologies part. Actually, I'm gonna keep it technology. So let's keep it for software engineers. So let's make just technologies. And for that, let's edit the tool, the input for the technologies part. So skills, let's make it technology. Oh, actually it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't need actually. It doesn't need like a separate class. So in this list, just a list. Just like skills, which is languages and technologies. So skills, which is basically our technologies. Let's see, get back the technologies, and in the tool technologies, it's gonna be just like technology. Technology, and let's define the additional summary, which is like string, and here let's make class technology, which has basically list and languages. Resume generated successfully. Now let's convert to PDF. So yeah, now here we have my website, and here we have languages, tools. This sounds pretty good. I think I'm satisfied now with this resume template. It looks okay. Now I think we can just like go ahead and continue with implementing the logic of our agent. So how's it gonna be? How's it gonna be? Like, what are the nodes that we're gonna have? So as we discussed earlier, the nodes are gonna be the primary assistant, the generate resume, and the job search. Job search and generate resume and PDF generation are going to be basically tools, and these are the ones that we have already completed. So this is completed, this is completed, this is completed, and now this is what we're implementing right now. So the primary assistant. So now let's go back to the nodes. So basically call model and the tool node. So the tool node, here we have the tools. We need to define them. So for the tools, I believe we need to do the following. We need to export the tools. So tools is basically job search tool and generation resume generation tool. So these are the tools that we have. Now we completed the implementation of the tool node, and now we need to basically implement the primary assistant logic and calling a large language model with the input to these tools. The logic for the messages is already included here. So in our state, if we go to state here, it's basically we have messages in the state which will hold the messages that we exchange with the assistants. So we take the state messages, and then we add to it the system prompt. So here's going to be the system prompt. So you are helping the user with their job search and resumes. They have a good idea of the type of job they're searching for. You can use the subscription. You can you help them find the job. You can using the so after you've helped them find a job, you can use the resume generation tool to help them generate the resume. So this job search. What's the name of the tool? It's important here to actually give the name of the tool. So job search tool. The job search. Actually, let's keep it like this. And the resume generation. Use the resume generation tool to help them with that. So, yeah, I think that's all we need to do for now. For the prompt, I mean. And now we added the system prompt at the top of the messages, and now we get the model. So basically the model here is gonna be like selected in the configuration, and here it can be like OpenAI, it can be Anthropic, and we can also like support other models. But for now, let's keep it as it is. And we need to invoke the model with the messages, and that's pretty much it. So this is basically, these are the nodes that we need. Here's an important step, which is basically the routing. Whether should we continue calling the tools, or we just like can return an answer to the user. If the last message was basically a tool call, so if we want to, if the primary assistant decided to call a tool, like either the generate resume tool or the job search tool, then it's gonna actually do it. Otherwise, it's just gonna return the answer to the user, or which is marked as end. Otherwise, we will continue, which basically we need to continue like calling the tools. So these are the nodes that we need to define. Now, the main logic of the agent itself. So let's define it. So here we have the graph configuration, which is as I told you, it's the model name. So the model name can be either Anthropic or OpenAI. We're going to enable the user to select the model that they want to use in order to generate the resume and search for the jobs. And here is the workflow. So the entry point to the model is going to be like the agent, which is the primary assistant in our case. And here is basically the conditional edges. So we're going to add an edge between the agent and action or end. So either we're gonna take an action, which is basically calling a tool, or we're gonna end, which means we're gonna return an answer to the user. And how we're gonna decide that? We need to pass a function to choose actually how to whether to go here or to go there, and it's basically simply depends on the tool calling. So if the model decides to call a tool, then it will go to call one of these tools. Otherwise, it's just going to return the answer to the user. To create a edge between the tools and the agent, so whenever we call a tool and the tool returns something, there is no conditional edges or anything like that. It's going to return the response of the tool call back to the agent. For easier debugging, I'm going to be using LangGraph as I suggested and had a demo in the last video of LangGraph. So I recommend you watching that if you haven't. I'm basically in that video, I tell you exactly how to set up LangGraph Studio with LangGraph example. And also I created an example with LangGraph Engineer where you can basically create LangGraph agents using a LangGraph agent. So we're gonna basically create it just using natural language as well. So it's like a useful tool. So from my projects, nope, we're gonna resume, we're gonna find, yeah, here, so let's call it LangGraph resume generation. And let's open the example. So could not read the env because there is no environment variable. Yeah, so let's basically open the project settings, and here env.example. And here the agent, we're gonna call it basically graph. No, sorry, my agent graph. So that's correct. My agent, I think all good. Now we can save and restart. Now we can retry. Now let's compile the project that we did. If you just like clone this repository, what you're gonna find out is that you only need to change the utils and then the nodes file. Sorry, the utils and then the tools file. So what we did actually is that we removed this, and we instead we basically created our own tools, which are the resume generation and the job search. So that's all actually I implemented. Here we got an error because we're importing the utils directly from this directory. However, what we want to do is we want to import it from the module my agent. So my agent .utils. That's it, I believe. And now, oh, okay, it worked immediately after I made the change. So now let's see. So hi, how are you? So we got an error, invalid API key. So the error I have because I haven't set the Anthropic API key, and I think by default the model is Anthropic, so I'm gonna be using like OpenAI instead as the default model. So hi. So let's see the agent. I got another error. Error invalid tools function name string does not match the pattern. Okay. Yeah, the job search tool.run got unexpected keywords. That science job remote $5,000 per month. That's great. That's amazing. So yeah, so I've been able to solve this issue. The issue was that I have set some parameters that are like required. This thing that required is equal to true. It wasn't compatible with the OpenAI schema, so I had to remove it. So that's why now I just removed it and now it works. So now I'm just like using the job search tool for now, just like testing with it. And I got like I just searched, I told it that I want $5,000 per month, that science jobs. It got some yeah, and please give me the links as well. Please give me the links to these jobs. I think the tool returns the result, which is like just okay to 100, and I believe these are hallucinated. So to solve this, I'm gonna return the same as we tested with, which is the result dumps. I'm gonna return this basically result.json. Yeah, so let's check again like this. So let's I believe we can just rerun this. Yeah, here are the outputs. So we got a lot of jobs. So now it's return apply here, so it gives you the link to apply. And let's go to the link just to check that it's correct. Yeah, the link goes to Jubal. And exactly, that's what we want, like a head of data science and machine learning. That's great. I want to find a data science full-time remote job with $10,000 per month. To have you found, I need to know the location. I said remotely. Yeah, it searched. Okay, here are some jobs. Gives you jobs. Okay, these positions are, would you like assistant generating a resume? Yes. Yes, generate a resume for these jobs, please. Okay, I'll need some information to provide the details. So what are these informations? Oh, actually, maybe it was doing this. It was asking me, but I didn't read it correctly. Okay, yeah, I'll need the following information. So okay, yeah, let's ask it to do the so name, say Yunus. Writing the resume. The resume have been successfully generated. So now let's check it out. Yeah, so it's in the API directory. And yeah, here is the resume generated. And basically I want to download this. It in save it here. I want to replace. So now I'm gonna do the Python. I'm gonna basically convert it to PDF, and here we go. So this is one, data science and AI specialist with a master's degree in science, bachelor's degree with strong foundation in Python. So basically this is for yeah, this is the the resume, and that's great. I think that's really good. So you have also the option to change it, to play with it. So this is really useful. I mean, yeah. So let's just continue. Let's set it, for example, to change it. So what I want to change, for example, Yeah, so I started computer science in, wow, actually it's like 4 years of computer science and 2 years of masters. So I started, let me just like correct it. So actually, let's check. Actually, I started my master's, my bachelor's in 2018, not 16. Yeah, so now it's actually generating the new resume based on that. And yeah, so let's check now. Go to the container again. I want to save this. Save it, replace. Let's convert it to PDF, and let's check it now. So yeah, as you can see, it's like 2018, 2022. So however, you can like still correct it and like just interact with it, and the PDF will basically change. So it's like you're chatting to change a PDF. It's really powerful, I believe. So that was part one, basically creating the AI agent, the logic of the AI agent, testing it end to end, making sure that it works correctly. It actually searches for jobs for us. It creates the resume as we want it. And now the second part will be basically creating the interface for it and basically deploy it end to end. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.